Paraphrasing is not as difficult as most people make it look. We've discussed the principles before, and if you follow those principles, you'll be able to paraphrase such that anti-plagiarism softwares will not have issues with you. But today I want to extend that conversation. I want to also give you some practical examples following a particular strategy that I call the strategy of the opposites. Strategy of the opposites. How does this strategy work with paraphrasing, and how can you practically apply it? The strategy of opposites is more useful when you are paraphrasing sentences and paragraphs that have data-driven narratives. For instance, somebody is writing something and says that 80% of people in Abuja are rich, or that 80% of people in Abuja live below the poverty line. Now, if I want to apply the law of the strategy of opposites, what I'm going to do is to reverse that. If 80% of people live below the poverty line, for instance, then how many percent of people live above that poverty line? Or how many percent of people live on or above the poverty line? So the poverty line is, say, $2 per month, and 80% of people earn below $2. What I'm going to now look at is the other 20%, what do they live on? So we can say 80% of people live below the poverty line, and then let's say that 20% of the residents of Abuja live above that poverty line. The sentence will now look like this. According to Mr. Okeke 2024-2025, about 20% of people who live in Abuja live above the poverty line. I could say about because I don't know the exact number of people who live exactly on that poverty line. But there are some cases where the numbers are clearer and is either below or above, or some people are less and then you can change it to more. Another example would be that you are comparing, say, mechanical properties of certain materials. The first material is reported as having 20% greater mechanical strength than the second. What does that tell you? That the second one is a certain percentage lower than the first in terms of compressive strength. That's the way you can apply strategy of opposites in your paraphrasing, and it often gives you a sentence that sounds different from what the initial report is. The other person was investigating the positives, you are investigating the opposites. The other person was going one direction, but that opposite direction in which you are going is driven by the insights you got from the work of the other person, and that's why you still need to cite that individual. Anybody who decides to go do a proof check of the work that you have done, who also understands the strategy of opposites, will easily see that